Hey, good morning, all you amazing, beautiful knockouts. It's Amanda here. I'm popping on a minute early so I can invite, okay, Donnie, thank you. Okay, go lay down. So I can invite some of you to the live and get it all set up. I'm going to just kind of go through. I hope you all are having a fabulous morning. I've got my coffee. Okay, let's just get through. Let's see. I'm gonna just go through and invite. Okay, so sorry, totally had a little brain fart there. I was like, what am I doing? Okay. Hey, if you are on, say hi so I know you're here. I hope you all are having a fabulous, fabulous day and that it's going really well so far. Let's see. It's Friday at least, right? Oh my gosh, that's the best part. Okay. And I'm going to make sure I share it in my group and on my page. Let's see. Make sure I can figure out how to do this again. That's all a process. So let's see. I'm going to hit done on that. Oh, great. Hey, good morning, Elise. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Natalie. Hey, Marty and Lisa and Lydia, Jamie. I am glad you are all here. Let me just make sure that I share this. Okay, give me just 1 second and then we'll start on practice 3. I've got my coffee, so hopefully you got yours too, or your tea, whatever you are drinking this morning. All right, groups. I'm getting this. I'm getting the hang of it. All right, and if you want, go ahead and share this, invite your friends. If you know anybody who could use some of this inspiration, the words, the stories, anything that you feel that someone could benefit, please share this with them, invite them. But I'm just grateful that you all are here on a Friday morning with me to talk about practice 3. So let me start by saying, hi, I'm Amanda J.P. Brown. I am an author, an exploration guide, and a sacred space creator. I help women who are wanting to do some deep transformational work by walking through their darkness and exploring the shame that they feel and like walking through all of that bullshit and into their power. Thank you, Dottie. So Dottie's here with me today wanting to say hi to all of you as well. So that is what I do. I coach women. I write books, and we are actually talking about this book, You're Brave Enough, 8 Daily Practices to Be Your Own Hero. I have a couple of flags so I don't forget to hit these key things, and we are on day 3 of this 8-day Facebook Live mini training, how to be your own hero in 8 days. And today is a especially sometimes difficult practice. It's empathy. And empathy is about feeling and being present, and it takes a lot. So let me just start with, I put in a question: how do you hold the self that regrets the choices you made in the past and the self that made the choices in the first place? And when I start this chapter, I literally start with a quote by Marshall B. Rosenberg saying, an important aspect of self-compassion is to be able to empathetically hold both parts of ourselves, the self that regrets a past action and the self that took the action in the first place. Empathy is different than sympathy. Sympathy is where you feel bad for someone else, but you don't understand what they're going through. Empathy is all about understanding that person's experience and being there in the thick of it. And Brené Brown does a fabulous job about talking about the difference between empathy and sympathy. And empathy is something that is sometimes really hard to do, especially when you have never had that experience before. Hey, Matt. Hey, Pam. Saw you guys joined on. So without empathy, we can't have compassion for people. We can't understand. And so one of the big things is a lot of us have made mistakes in the past, right? We've made choices that we're not so proud of, and we're kind of questioning if, what does that mean? And then we're using that to judge ourselves. So that is where we are lacking to have self-empathy. When we engage in judgment, we are not being empathetic to ourselves or to another person when we're standing in judgment of someone. So, it is possible to regret things in our past, and many of us do. But the simple fact is we can't change shit about what happened, right? I can't change that I engaged in drug use when I was a teenager. That's not possible. And even if I could do that, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I like the person I am today. And now, if you're not happy with the person you are today because of those past choices, you can make a change and you can learn the lessons in that space as well. So part of the piece is we can't go back. We can't go back and change things. So beating up ourselves about all the bad decisions, all the things that we should have done, just makes us feel bad about ourselves, makes us feel judgmental, and shitting on ourselves is really shitty. So has anybody felt like that before? Like they've, if any of this is resonating with you or you can relate, just go ahead and let me know. But often we regret things. Hey, Shannon, glad you could make it on today. A lot of times we regret the things that we've done in the past, but we can't change it. We just have to move forward, and we have to learn the lessons in that. We have to learn to look at things a different way. So one of the things that I wrote in my book, and I'm just going to kind of read it through to you because it's not too long, but one of the most valuable lessons I have learned in life is everything we have done in our lives, including the stuff we hold shame and guilt around, has given us experience. And this experience has given us new perspective. While sometimes we judge ourselves for it, without this experience, we wouldn't be who we are, where we're at. And we can choose to look at our situations differently. Hey, I'm glad you can understand this, Elise. Yes, we're not perfect. We're fucking human. It's just we make mistakes. We say things and then think 2 minutes later, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And we regret that. But back 2 minutes before when we said that or made that decision, we didn't have the perspective or the time away from the situation that we did 2 minutes earlier. So 2 minutes earlier, we didn't have that time, space, disconnection from what we did. We didn't see what was going to happen. We couldn't foresee that. So one of the things in learning to apply self-empathy and the women that I work with, and the things that I've actually had to do for myself, is learning this question, is to ask, because a lot of times people like the comparison piece of, hey, well, what you've done in your life isn't as bad as what I've done in my life, or vice versa, right? We're like, oh, well, my shit's way worse. You wouldn't even believe, you couldn't even get it, you couldn't even understand. And okay, maybe you've done way worse stuff than me, but maybe you haven't. And who gives a shit? Because it doesn't matter if we do different things. The feelings that we hold on to are similar. The shame, the guilt, the regret, the wishing that we could take it back. All of that stuff is things that we feel. Experiences our feelings are universal. Experiences may be different, but the feelings, the way we digest stuff may be different. So I would challenge you, if you're sitting in self-hatred or self-judgment, how is self-hatred and condemnation, condemning yourself for your past mistakes, working out for you? Is it helping you? Is it making you fucking happy? Are you living joyously? And if you're not, then let's take a look at how can we practice, how can you implement self-empathy in your life? Because honestly, without self-empathy, it's really hard to love and accept ourselves as we are. So I've worked with a lot of women, and I have had a lot of people be like, oh, positive affirmations. If you just love yourself, say you love yourself enough and you forgive yourself, you will. Maybe, but yet maybe not, because there is a piece of being able to love and accept yourself that comes in with doing some work. And sometimes if you don't believe what you're saying, you're lying to yourself. And practice 1 was all about honesty. So I always have believed this, and this is part of, if you can't wrap your head around an idea of something that you could believe in for yourself, like self-love or self-forgiveness, then start out the sentence by saying, I am in the process of loving myself. I am in the process of forgiving myself. I am in the process of learning to X, Y, and Z. When you can do those words, it feels better. It's not as heavy because you don't feel like you're lying to yourself. So that is one of the things that I recommend to this. And in my book, I wrote for the application, I am in the process of forgiving myself by extending empathy and allowing self-compassion into my life. So it's all about learning to extend this, learning to open yourself up to the possibility that you can learn something different, and you can hold regret and understanding of yourself. It is possible to go, shit, I wish I wouldn't have done that, and yet still understand the reason why you made those decisions in the first place. That is what doing the work, walking through your darkness is all about. It is about exploring and getting in touch with that woman, that girl, that person, that man that you used to be and that made those decisions in the first place. So that is what I have to say today. If you have any questions, if you have any reactions, responses, you want to know how else, you want to talk to me privately, if you don't want to comment below in the comments, then just know that you can email me at amanda@beautifulknockout.com. You can also set up a power connection call with me so we can help explore some of this with you. Or you can email me, did I say that? At amanda@beautifulknockout.com. If I did, I'm sorry. I'm still drinking coffee. And let's talk about it. Just, what gets in the way of empathy? So I'd love, if you want to have more of a discussion with that, great. If you want to grab your book, I'll put the link in below. And let's just work on today being in the practice and in the process. You are in the process of practicing self-empathy today. And that means that if something goes wrong or you have a bad thought about yourself, that you just go, okay, I'm in the process of working through my stuff. I'm in the process of. And then one thing that I'd like to just read to you, because I think it's so powerful, is through the darkness, we bloom into who we truly are. Just like the lotus grows in the mud, we grow in our darkness once we are truly willing to face it. And this requires self-empathy. All right. It is 8:15 almost, Arizona time. I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you for supporting me as I continue to step out, continue to step forward, continue to show up in this way and own who I am and share these pieces of myself that I have been scared to share. It is sometimes a challenge to put yourself out there, and I get that. Some things we're scared to talk about, and I understand that. For years, I didn't talk about myself. For years, I didn't share things. And for years, that made me have superficial relationships where people didn't really know the deep, deep, deep stuff because I was too scared. So I am showing up and stepping out, and it feels scary, and yet it feels powerful. So know that you're not alone. There are other women, men who feel some of the very same things you do. And if you'd love to join the discussion with me, you can hop over to Beautiful Knockout Sacred Space, where I've created a space for women to explore their own stuff. Okay. I love all of you. I hope you have a fabulous Friday. And if anything comes up, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to be able to be a support to you. All right. Bye. Hey, Tommy, I see that you just joined in, but you'll have to catch me on the replay. All right. Love you all. Peace. See you next time. Oh, wait, I should check to see if there are any questions. Let me just make sure. I'm still working through this. Okay, I don't see any questions. So now I'm going to head out. All right. Have a fabulous day. I will see you all very soon. Tomorrow, oops. Hi, gosh. I'm a little nervous still. So tomorrow, 9 a.m. Arizona time, which is 8 a.m. West Coast, 11 a.m. East Coast. We're going to be doing practice 4 of this book. And this practice 4, was the hardest chapter for me to write. I actually cried through it. So I'll explain a little bit about that tomorrow. All right. Mwah. Love you all. Have a great day.